Hey, what is up, all my lonely watchers out there? And today's gonna be a little different because we finally got substantial Yokai Watch news today at the new level 5 vision to the world's children. And for those of you who are unaware, we got a teaser for a game that was supposedly Yokai Watch related at the level 5 vision, and I want to say November of 2023. And they said at the next level 5 vision entitled To the World's Children, April 2024, they would fully unveil this new project of Ghostcraft, which ended up getting delayed into the summer, so that was a little disappointing. And finally today we got it on September 24th of 2024, which technically isn't summer, so it got delayed one more time. But yeah, we finally have our hands on the new trailer. And just a fair warning, this video is going to be like very unscripted and all over the place. I just want to get my thoughts out there as soon as possible. So here is what it is. This game is called Holy Horror Mansion, the final title for the game. So it's not Ghostcraft anymore. I thought Ghostcraft maybe was a working title or like a code name or something, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. There's a lot of things in this trailer that make me worried, and a lot of things in this trailer that like look really cool. So it's kind of a trade-off, and we'll have to like see more about this game and get more details about it before we judge it too much. But yeah, this looks like they introduced it weird. They introduced it as the next concept for Yokai Watch, and as the trailer goes along, you can see Yokai Watch influences in it, but it doesn't really seem like Yokai Watch. It seems like a new franchise, which is fine by me, absolutely. I've been predicting since this first got unveiled as Ghostcraft around this time last year that it would be a Yokai Watch spiritual successor. It wouldn't be a Yokai Watch 5 or whatever like people were saying it was going to be. But I figured, it's probably going to be like a spiritual successor of some kind, right? I've been saying this for a while. So today kind of confirmed that, but also I'm wary about the language they're using for this. The fact that they're calling it the concept for Yokai Watch. Two things about that statement worry me. One, the term concept. Because level 5 is stretching themselves thin, I think, right now, with all the projects they're trying to release, as well as making a comeback to the West at the same time. I don't know if level 5 has the proper resources to keep this up. Like, things are getting delayed into oblivion. Some of these games are going to come out in 2026, 2027, 2028. Some of these promised for the Nintendo Switch, which I hope Ghostcraft doesn't turn into like a Yokai Watch 3 situation all over again. I hope these appear on the Nintendo Switch successor as well. But level 5 is just stretching themselves too thin that all these projects are just getting delayed all over the place, and the fact that this is only a concept, that scares me that we're not going to see anything from this until 2028. Like 2027 earliest this game comes out, I feel like. Because if it's still in like this concept stage, a lot of people are saying like some of the sets don't look good in the trailer. It's probably just not finished yet. They're probably still working on it. I mean, yeah, they called it a concept. There's a lot of like good things to show in this trailer, but I'm not sure how much of it will be indicative of the final product. I mean, look at Yokai Watch 1's trailer. That's a reveal trailer. That game is like so different from the original. Different console, different like format and battle system. Everything was like overhauled. All right, and I feel like what we saw today isn't going to be fully indicative of what the final project is, but the game does look cool. All right, I like a lot of the mechanics they showed at play, like the whole like enspiritment mechanic where ghosts can inhabit objects. Those are the main ones that we saw with Kineko and Budachoki, the two monster ghost designs that we saw that they showed off. They showed off a few more, but they didn't really name them. There was the Trash Man guy or whatever that looked really cool. There was some other, like, there was a section where we had like a pseudo medallion type menu there, and you could like make out some other yokai that were there. We'll get into that eventually. And there was like a crafting mechanic where you could like craft different items together to create a monster as well. And the example they used for this, for some reason, was pen, pineapple, apple pen. This was just like such a strange. I mean, why? People have been talking about this all day, and I can't get over it. Why would you bring back? I mean, it's weird. It's weird. It's Yokai Watch weird. It makes sense. It makes sense like something level 5 would do, but like at the same time, why are you like associating this with like a dead meme already? I know Yokai Watch in level 5 loves to put references and everything, but like still, that was weird. That was when I first saw the trailer when I was in study hall. I just couldn't believe I was seeing pen, pineapple, apple pen revived for the modern era in this whatever this is. So yeah, it also showed like a bunch of dancing segments as well. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know if that's gonna be like the new like dance scenes, like the outros, and the we're gonna get like lyrical songs from like real J-pop artists like we did with Yokai Watch. I'm pretty sure that might be the case, and that's how those go into that, which I hope so, because the music already is slapping. We only have one song, the song from the trailer, which is basically an amped up version of the song from the teaser. And this is just so zany. I love it. Absolutely. I've been listening to this on repeat for a little bit now on the way home, and it sounds amazing. It's wacky, but like it's got its own little style. Like it's indicative of Yokai Watch, but it really isn't Yokai Watch. But yeah, there's that. There are yokai with bios and skills, or sorry, ghosts with bios and skills, as we could see in the trailer. 2 of them got revealed to us, again, Kineko and Buddha Choki. I'm going to be putting them on screen. Here are their Japanese equivalents. Here they are in Japanese. And then also I'll put rough English translations on the screen. So if you don't speak Japanese, you can read the translations. That's a rough idea. I don't speak Japanese myself. But if anybody else can read and speak Japanese, if you could translate these in the comments to get like a more accurate view of what they're saying, that would be much appreciated, because this is really indicative of like the yokai like medallion, and it looks like they have like skills like yokai have. They have a little bio and they have little things about their skills, which I'm having a hard time deciphering with the wacky translations, but if somebody could translate that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Gameplay. There is like one scene where we see a battle, and it looks like really like Pokemon, Digimon-esque. It's like it looks like you select an option, and then the ghost does the attack, and then it's the opponent's turn. This kind of worries me. A lot of people have been saying this, like the villain that they showed off in the trailer looks like really Pokemon-like, and the battle system, I mean, we only really saw it for like a second, but it looks like Pokemon. It's like a trainer commanding a ghost to go beat up that other ghost. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, especially with all the comparisons that people draw between Pokemon and Yokai Watch, which a lot of which I don't think are substantiated. But I can see people making draws between Holy Horror Mansion and Digimon and Pokemon. A lot of people, I've seen some people say that like the trash can thing name translates to like Trashmon or something. I can't fully verify that, but that would not help beat the allegations. But either way, we got fun character designs, at least in terms of the monsters. Our protagonist, Ten Lordland, he's okay. He's okay. The human characters are fine. They're serviceable. I don't really like the designs, but like the monsters, they look really good. Again, we got Kineko, and we got Budakachi, and there were also two other monsters that were in the medallion section. We had a like candle looking ghost, some like candle bearer thing, and then a chicken teapot as well. And I really like the focus on like real world objects with these things, and I think that's gonna be like a really big focus for this, is like you're crafting the ghosts out of things in real life, and I think that's like a really cool idea. And in theory, this could be like a limitless thing. Of course, this is probably first entry in the series. They're probably gonna have like limits on stuff and what you can fuse and all that. But creating your own monsters, being part of this is really an exciting idea. Not gonna lie. We also get Cameron, which looks like a companion type character, like a whisper type character, who is probably going to help the protagonist 10 see the ghosts, like a yokai watch, I'm presuming. And again, I just love the wacky designs. I love the focus on objects, and it's gonna make it a lot more relatable as opposed to like Yokai Watch, because this is supposed to be globalized. Remember, this game is supposed to be localized. It's supposed to come out in all regions at the same time, not basing it off Japanese mythology, and instead basing it off like real world objects that have like Japanese cultural symbolism in them at some points, you know, to still like pay homage to Yokai Watch and its roots in Japan, but also not making it so overtly Japanese that it will be incredibly hard to translate and very foreign seeming to an American or Western audience. I think that's really smart. I think that's really smart. And oh my god, there's just so much. There's so much in this trailer. There's so much. You can watch this again and again, and you can like find way more things to look at. But 3 minutes. I was not expecting a trailer to be like 3 minutes. I was expecting maybe like a minute 30, minute 45 tops. But we got a 3-minute trailer for this thing, and they just shoved so many mechanics in there, and just like there's so much in here that I'm worried about, but like so much that I'm like, this looks good. This looks like a really fun game I'd like to play. And I'd love to stream it. I'd love to stream it on the channel at some point, but at the same time, it's so far away. I can't guarantee that where I'll be in my life and where the channel will be, because it's just so far off, because they're revealing it what seems to be so early, especially when they're so busy with other projects. This is what I won't understand. I feel like they're hyping people up too much for this, especially because it looks like they're putting a lot of their eggs in the Holy Horror Mansion basket, announcing that this would be the largest cross-media project that the company has ever had. As well as saying that, saying that in spring of 2025, they would reveal plans for media and merchandise surrounding this. So what does this mean? Of course, we're going to get merchandise for a franchise like this. There was no question. But, like, what else does that mean? Media? Like, does that just mean, like, the songs and the dances and stuff that we were shown in the trailer? Are we going to get more stuff like that? Or is there going to be, like, an anime and stuff, too? Is there going to be manga? Is this going to be, like, full Yokai Watch, like, multimedia franchise, finger in every pie type situation? I feel like Level 5 is, like, putting a lot of eggs in this basket, and why not just see where it goes first? Why not see if you can actually have the resources to pull this off, first of all? Because this just seems like a long shot that we will ever get this anytime soon. But the fact that they're already announcing so much, like, they're gonna be doing media tie-in stuff already, it just seems so, like, outlandish. But we'll see. We'll see what Level 5 does in the future. Hopefully they're able to manage this. In a perfect world, I guess in a perfect world, Yokai Watch would still exist, and this new series would still exist. But it looks like this series is going to be replacing Yokai Watch. I wouldn't doubt if we saw some of these ghost creatures and some of the main character. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them at Puni at some point, and then Puni becomes like Yokai Watch's lasting legacy for a few years until it eventually gets shut down and replaced with the Holy Horror Mansion franchise. I gotta keep reminding myself to say Holy Horror Mansion instead of Ghostcraft, because it's just so weird. It's so weird that we finally have a title like a proper title. I keep wanting to refer to it as Ghostcraft. It just still feels unreal. That and the fact that they relegated the Ghostcraft name to just calling this game a Ghostcraft RPG, which I don't fully understand, because that gives off the impression that it's like, oh, this is like, oh, it's a monster catching RPG or like an action RPG. Like, this is supposed to be an established franchise. Like, a Ghostcraft RPG is a thing that people play and people have been making. I just don't get the terminology entirely. I don't know why they're calling it a Ghostcraft RPG when, like, that's not really, to my knowledge, that's not really a thing. This is like a new thing. I'm sure there are like franchises that have mechanics like this, but a Ghostcraft RPG isn't like an established genre, so I don't know why they're referring to it that way, but it's whatever. But at the end of the trailer, you know, they kind of phoned us in. They were like, we don't have a platform yet. We don't have a release date yet. We don't have a price yet. They even did like a little tongue-in-cheek thing at the end where they were like, it's coming soon, but not too soon, because Level 5 knows we're kind of getting impatient here, and I feel like this is going to add flames to the fire. Like, this is going to satiate us for a little bit, and then it's going to be like 3 years down the road, and they're going to be like, hey, any word on Ghostcraft yet? Or sorry, any word on Holy Horror Mansion yet? And they're just going to be like, no, here's a new trailer or whatever. We're still trying to localize games we started like 6 years ago or whatever, because that's just Level 5 at the moment. Yeah. And then the final thing the trailer ended with was the this town is full of pumpkins line with like wonder in little what's the word I'm looking for, in like parentheses or whatever. Like, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's some sort of Japanese pun. I do not understand. So if anybody knows Japanese and they could let me know what's going on with the trailer, make sure to let me know. I left the link for the English language website in the description, as well as the trailer if you'd like to check it out yourself, even though I've been playing it on screen the full time. If you want to go like listen to it and like frame by frame analysis it yourself, go ahead. The links are in the description for that. And yeah, the website doesn't have much more information. I mean, it has the models or the artwork of 10 and Kineko. But that's all about all the website has. It has the trailer, it has a few screenshots, and yeah, there's not much to go on right now. But this is more than we've had for a while when it comes to Yokai Watch. The last Yokai Watch game, I believe, was 2021, was Yokai Watch 1's smartphone. And then the last like console game was Yokai Gakuen Y, or Y School Heroes, in 2020. So it's definitely exciting. I hope this gets more eyes on Yokai Watch, but the fact that Yokai Watch isn't in the title, I feel like this might get swept a little more under the rug. But they did try to hone in. They were like, this is the successor to Yokai Watch, and they kind of like put images of Jibanyan on the screen and stuff. And they're trying to hammer home that this is Yokai Watch, I assume, to get the core fans of Yokai Watch excited for it, while also having an excuse to position it to a more global audience. So I hope this gets picked up. I hope people get excited for this game, but not too excited, because it looks like we're not going to have it for a while, and we don't want the hype train to like die entirely, because the fate of the franchise, I think, rests in this project. If we ever get anything Yokai Watch like again, it's going to be this, and I fully encourage you to support this game when it comes out, assuming there's no like issues with it, assuming it's not like rampant with AI or it's just a poor quality game or whatever. But if it ends up being a good game, make sure to support Level 5 on this. Buy some of their other games if you can to support them in their time of need when they're picking up way too much stuff than they have any right to. Like, buy Megaton Musashi Wired. I say, as I haven't even bought that game yet, because I'm not as big of a level 5 fan as people sometimes assume I am, unfortunately. But I am trying to turn that around. So I'll definitely try to play more level 5 games while we are waiting for Ghostcraft. In fact, I might even I picked up Ni no Kuni on Prime Day this year, so I might even play that. But yeah, that's about it for this video on Holy Horror Mansion, new quote-unquote Yokai Watch game. So make sure to let me know your thoughts, anything you disagreed with in the comments, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, my lonely watchers.